Welcome to HP Tuner's Subaru Training Part 7. In this training tutorial, we're going to learn how we can integrate a wideband into our VCM scanner data log. So every time we're capturing our data channels, we always want to include our wideband registration reading from an actual wideband. This allows us to take a look at proper air fuel readings under full throttle conditions. This is going to be an essential part of our calibration process, and we're going to be using this all throughout the training course. I'm going to show you two different methods to integrate widebands into our data logs. Without further wait, let's jump into our tutorial so we can check this out.
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at how to integrate a wideband into our VCM scanner software. We use a wideband for calibration purposes or data analysis purposes. We find that the factory primary sensor on our Subaru applications is a wideband. It's able to read pretty lean and pretty rich mixtures. It's not like a typical narrowband where it reads only at stoichiometric or we're looking at petrol fuel 14:7:1 type of range of actual being accurate within. A wideband is accurate, pretty large range, 10:1, 20:1 air fuel, or looking at something like 0.65 to something like 1.3 lambda. We're going to find that we need to use a wideband to properly calibrate and tune the Subaru. Even though the factory primary sensor, again, does read a pretty large range, you can't rely on its accuracy at the very extreme ends of operation. So extremely lean mixtures and extremely rich mixtures. Now we're going to be shooting for richer mixtures when we're under full throttle, and the last thing we want to do is rely on a bad primary sensor signal to make our fueling changes. We want to go and actually use a wideband. So we're going to take a look at how we can integrate a wideband into our logging. We have a couple different ways. Let's talk about the first way, the most reliable way, and the way that I use and set up my logging working in the VCM scanner. This is going to require you to have an MPVI-2 cable that supports a ProLink cable that you have to purchase separately. The ProLink cable will allow you to log a 0 to 5 volt output from your wideband controller or wideband gauge. You'll find that almost every single wideband that's out on the market will have the ability to send out a 0 to 5 volt output. This allows you to log this analog output from the gauge and bring it into your MPVI-2 cable and convert it into a digital signal and bring it into the actual software here as a available logging channel. So we're going to look at how we're going to bring that voltage and convert the voltage scale into an actual wideband reading so we can use that for the first portion of integrating a wideband into the actual software here. Now there is another way, which is using a serial stream output. In my particular case here, I have an AEM wideband and it has both options. We have a 0 to 5 volt output that we can use for logging purposes. It sends a voltage and we convert the voltage into a wideband reading. We also have a serial stream output where it serial streams the actual reading from the wideband on a serial network that we bring in with a USB to serial connector to our laptop. Now, I have mixed results using the serial option. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to check your serial option, and to make sure everything's working properly. But I like to stick with my MPVI-2 using the ProLink. That's the tried and true that I've always had great success with. Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about the setup there. It's pretty basic. Now on the ProLink cable, we're going to find that we have a couple different options for wire colors. What we're looking for, in my case with an AEM 4110 wideband, that's the part number of the wideband, I'm looking for the single red wire. That's my analog to digital option number 1, or the primary input into that ProLink cable. Now there are other colors, but we're not going to worry about those right now. I need to take the white wire from my AEM 30-4110 gauge, which is the 0 to 5 volt output from the gauge. I need to connect the white wire to the red wire. That's going to feed the voltage from my gauge, its relation to the actual air fuel reading, and bring that into my ProLink, which brings it into the MPVI-2, which brings it then into the logging stream here, and then I can convert that particular signal. Now, if you're dealing with an AEM X series wideband, there's actually going to be 2 wires that have to be connected. On the ProLink, it would be the red wire, that's your 0 to 5 volt, and on the X series, it's still going to be a white wire. But you're also going to have a brown wire, which is an analog negative. You need to connect that to the black wire on the ProLink cable. That makes sure you don't have any kind of voltage offset as you're bringing the voltage in to the ProLink cable into the MPVI-2. With the AEM Vuego gauges that I'm running here, there is a chance for a voltage offset, And in that case, that can start to become a problem.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.